All right, guys, crazy way to end the week. I've been talking about this for 2 weeks now about vol returning to the market, and we're first finally getting the signs of that happening. VIX has popped from being oversold. I've done videos about being 9 months up. I'm going to get into a global macro video this weekend. If you haven't been paying attention, you kind of missed it. But we're 9 months off the lows in equities. That's an 8.6 frequency. It's major long-term cycle stuff. We've broken the 8. I've talked about vol coming back into August. It's starting to show up. VIX went from 13, 15, 16, 17. So the bulls and the equity guys, the perma bulls, that whole equity space has a lot more to do to break down still. But you're starting to see the signs of it. The bond market picked up volatility first the last 2 weeks. There's a lot in the headlines now about bond market, but that's been kind of happening for 3 weeks now. So anyway, I want to hit on what's going on, what we did on the day trade side, a couple lessons, and then again, this is going to be a big month for trading. So I wanted to highlight, we have another free webinar next week that I'll be doing. I'm going to show you where and when to stay tuned for that. But I wanted to mostly just highlight today's trading. And then this close was nasty, but I'm not going to get into it. The big picture stuff is for my guys, the community. I've been posting about it all day. But let's just go over this morning's action. So I didn't get involved in the Russell, but I was watching it and I thought this is a great teaching point. I was more focused on the NASDAQ, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to focus in your trading. Like when I have my coaching sessions, sometimes I was laughing with my guys earlier this week because I go silent because I'm kind of focused. So sometimes we trade together and then sometimes there's teaching moments. But the point is, when you need to focus on certain things. You want to be aware of everything, but you really need to focus sometimes on what it is you're doing when you're trading. And so this Russell move I didn't touch, but it was actually pretty easy concept. And so I'm just going to teach it to you guys. When the Russell like this is uptrend, okay, hold here. That's how we identify the trend, makes a new high. Anytime you make a new high on a specific time frame that you're talking about, this is a 1 minute chart on the Russell, X amount of time. This is a new high around the open. When you break from a new high all the way to a new low, it's very, very, very hard on the next move up. The next move, I'm not talking about the rest of the afternoon. I'm not talking about a week from now. That's crazy. I'm talking about the next move up. Very hard to get to a new high. So the probability or the edge, we think in terms of probabilities. We trade and manage risk in terms of probability. It's very unlikely that you're going to get to a new high after a new low. So there's a wall concept I teach my traders. This was a pretty easy sale right here. And that's all you need to make really good money day trading. If you miss this first move down, if you miss this first move up, this move here was just, it's so textbook. You make a new high, you take this low out, you make a new low, you rally, you want to fade that rally every single time you fade that rally. How you fade it matters, how you work your risk, but that's just easy. So I missed that one. So here's what I ended up doing today. On the open, I told my guys in the chat that, look, we don't analyze and try to predict and do a bunch of thinking and let the ego work. But there's only really 4 moves we're going to work on this next week in our inner circle group. There's only really 4 moves that can happen on the open. So trading is very simple. What makes it tough is people make it complicated, myself included. Everybody has all these emotions. Everybody has all these ideas, all these personalities. And today's day and age, I think it's actually harder because You bring up a new trading system. There's a million different volume indicators. There's all these different, like I just opened up this new one here on Quant Tower. I don't even know what all this is. Step profile, left profile, right profile, times. I think these are all based around volume. I don't even know what that is or what the edge is. There's so many different tools, and it doesn't make trading easier. It makes it harder. Back in the day, if you guys go read, Jesse Livermore is considered one of the biggest traders around the Great Depression of all time. They didn't have computers. They didn't have, he wrote down prices. He charted prices. And then he had a view on like, whoa, I talked to this guy in San Francisco and commodity prices are supposed to do this based on that. But that doesn't help you manage risk. He wrote down the prices every single day. He charted the prices out. And then his whole strategy was basically add to your winners. He kept his losses tight. Maybe, oh, looks like price is moving up. I'll add to that one. I'll add to that one. I'll add to that one. And if it wasn't working, he cut his losses. That is really the best way to trade. You could even trade blindfolded without computers and all these different things, and you would probably do better than psyching yourself all the time. Well, this is doing this, this is doing that. Oh, I got this indicator, I got this. Well, maybe this, but I think this is happening. Somebody said this. No, just figure out where your edge is, and you got to keep it simple. And so in the morning, it was just a matter of, okay, we rallied a little bit. If the market opens up, we're going to go with it. If it breaks this low, we're going to go with it to the downside. That's it. I'm not trying to figure out what's going to happen. It's just, this is okay. If it's up here, we're going with it. If it's down here, we're going with it. So the first trade is up. Took the Dow and S&P long up. How long does it go for? Who knows? There's certain things you can do. We take profit on new highs. Angle and distance matters. There might be resistance up here. I'm not going to play with the chart. But the point was, the move was up first. And I texted my team. I said, okay, playing Dow and S&P long up, bullish, long. If that breaks down, I don't know if it's going to break down. I'm not trying to predict it's going to break down. It could easily just go straight to the upside. If it breaks down, we're going to play NASDAQ short. Got it. Made money here. Dow and S&P up. And at the same time, we're keeping it in our back pocket. I don't want to get into too much of what I do in the coaching for these guys, but there's ways you plan out your trades versus trying to spend all your time predicting. Predicting doesn't do anything. Predicting doesn't do anything. Tell me how you're going to trade what happens next. If this happens, what are you going to do? If that happens, what are you going to do? That's more helpful than, this is going to happen. I know this is going to happen. I'm so smart. No. What are you going to do if this happens? What are you going to do if that happens? If then, identify. If then, identify. If then. I said, if the market reverses, we're going to play NASDAQ short. Keep it in our back pocket. NASDAQ moves more. Boom. Started to break the 8 short. Traded into PI. I covered a little bit early, but I was still up here in S&P. Fine. Could you have taken a long here? Sure, but I'm already long, so I didn't take that. All right. Already made some money on the way up. Now I'm short. I'm hedged. NASDAQ moves largely, moves bigger, moves more. Now I'm making money on the short side. I'm not really interested in cover or, getting long here. I'm already long, but that's still a good edge. Could you have played this long for a bounce? Sure. Yeah. Good edge. It's PI. It's always a good edge. Now I'm already long. The market bounces. This is up the wall that I teach my guys. This, boom, short. You take out the 8 again. This is a nice candle on the downside. We're following the power on the first 2 moves of the morning. Boom, short. This, my guys know, is the BCI. I covered into the low. Because I covered in the low, I short the bounce. If I didn't cover in the low, I would have waited for this to get taken out and then shorted more. I covered some into the low. That frees me up to short more or sell more into the bounce on the tick chart. And the 1 minute up this wall, sold more. BCI, sold more. First push down, boom, cover. Not everything, covered some. Another uptick because I covered some on the low. It bounces, I get to sell more. Took out another BCI. Boom, sold more. Cover, cover. Use the trailing method I teach my guys, bar by bar, or using the 8. I'm out right there. Long on the way up, short on the way down. Called it, talked about it beforehand. And this was even an easier trade here that we didn't take. This is what that looked like. That's what that looked like. This is it. S&P's on the way up. Boom. 1 minute, 5 minute, up, bullish. Go with it. Added on the pullback. 1 minute dip, cycle low. We trade the cycles, took into the highs. At that point, NASDAQ was kind of doing its own thing. I'm like, okay, well, I'm already long here. I don't like that break. Short against my long. I'm nice and hedged up. Short cover. Still long. Okay, let's see what happens. I was actually trading the minis in between there for this and this. But this is what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for my cycle. Short, still long here. Now I'm short twice on NASDAQ. This moves more. I'm actually rooting for this at the point to go down. It breaks, which I already just mentioned, shorted more. First push down, cover. Because I cover, I can sell more on the bounce. BCI, short more, first push, cover. Because I covered, now I can go back in and short again. Market moves down, cover, into the low. The low didn't hold, shorted again, cover, trailing stop. Very mathematical. The trading plan takes over. There's not any thinking going on. There's not any watching CNBC. Here's what I think I did. What else did I have to show? Basically the same thing. Long S&P, playing around on the tick chart a little bit more aggressively. I don't buy the tick chart high on full contracts, but there's $200-300 there maybe. Then that changed. I was playing NASDAQ short. I'm dragging along actually here. And that's part of the reason why I sold NASDAQ the full contract short. Didn't really care about that, the minis at this point. And then on the bounce, I'm coming out of that. And I ended up getting short with NASDAQ overall direction, same thing. Not as much money there. That's more like a feeler. But here was pretty good money on the way up with this. I just drag it down short, but these contracts matter more at that point. So I don't know, it was like $4,600 on the day. And then what's cool about that is my guys, basically one of my newer traders did the exact same thing. And this, I show you guys this because it's possible. So this is our inner circle group. It's my guys that I'm coaching and mentoring. All right, so it's one thing to learn trading. Well, I have all the courses and stuff that gives you the foundation, but just like anything, you needed to go from your intellect, thinking, trying to figure out, I made this mistake last time. It's intellect. It needs to go to the heart. The heart is where you feel it, you live it. You only live it through experience. That comes through losing, that comes through time and then share, it comes through all the repetitions, repetition, repetition, repetition. And you're going to build on your repetitions more in a team environment and going over this stuff. It's when you have a losing trade, my guy's like, I don't know what I did wrong. I say journal it. He journals it. He's probably frustrated that he didn't do as well as he thought. I take the time, we go over it. It's that experience is multiplied so much more. It's multiplied. He doesn't have to make the same mistake 100 times by himself. I get to sharpen my axe. I get rusty if I'm not coaching my guys. If I'm not involved, I get rusty. That's the only way you win. Is you have to be always working at it, your craft. You have to be refining things. You have to be. It's there's exponentially more leverage in doing that. And so this is the same trade. Let me see if I can blow it up. All I said was we're taking long Dow if we reverse NASDAQ. And here's one of my guys. Beautiful. Up, bullish. Took into the highs. At the same time, hedged himself short. Sold the cycle high, cover, cover. Notice the bearish wall. Maybe a little bit late on that sale. That's okay. Short, cover, cover. 2,100 bucks. That's it. Within an hour, boom, done. You guys can do this. It's again, trading is simple, but we make it too complicated. But you got to put frameworks around it. You got to put discipline around it. You got to put strategies. You have to put a model around it. Otherwise, you're all over the place. If you guys want to get involved in clean this up. cyclicacapital.com. I don't know exactly when we're doing another webinar. This is the old webinar I have up on the site. I'll change this link. Next week, we're doing another webinar. We got a lot of new people involved, and I'm just gonna be teaching, giving away a lot of free info and discussing some of these concepts. And then I'm gonna be showing you how how you can get involved and go to the next level. The one thing I will tell you though here for now, Cyclage Algo. Guys, this is using the model, putting it into technology so it can work for you. I give you access to all our Cyclage Pro stuff, where that's my real-time alerts product. It's everything global macro. What we were doing, we sold the Russell on the highs on 30-minute chart. That's core position. We've been shorting 10s and 30-year notes that we covered, went long ultras yesterday on the lows, sold some 30s against that today. This is high level like trading. Whether you want to trade Forex here, we're reshorting the pound. I don't want to give too much of this away, but this is going on all day in here. It's $100 a month. Guys pay $600 for the year. With the algo bot, I'm giving you the crypto alerts, Cyclage Pro, and the algo services that are running in the background, and I can help you put these on your charts. This is the Russell. Killing it. Short, cover, short, cover, short, cover, short, cover, short, stop, fine. Good tight risk. At the same time, we're long NASDAQ into that high also. So we pairs trade it, put it all together. But you can run the computer, use the whole AI, blah, blah, blah to your advantage, but use the technology now. You can run this in the background with your trading when you get all messed up in your own head, and when you just whatever, it's tough. There's a lot of different time frames. There's a lot of different things you can do. The world's a very distracting place. Attention, it's sometimes you just need to reset and be like, all right, what are we doing here? Okay, the cycle's high. Yeah, okay. The bot says this short. Got it. You want to run this on the core positions more passively, you can do that. So anyway, that's the stuff we're working on. It's $250 one-time price. This is going to be yearly, and I'm throwing in the alerts on the other macro markets as far as you kind of have direct access to me on the timing and the alerts. All right. But this is the technology side. You can hook it up to your broker. Anyway, that's there, guys. Great deal. Cyclical, Algo. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a great weekend. Very crappy close for markets at the end of the day. I've been saying I think this is just a horrible close into a Friday. We've been breaking the 8. I think there's a lot of room to the downside. So vol's been picking up. You guys already, if you haven't been getting involved, you already missed 2 weeks of really good action. And I'm telling you that at some point this is going a lot higher. So there's going to be nice moves to be had across markets. Love to help you get involved. And again, I'll have some details about the webinar next week as far as joining the coaching and the inner circle group. All right, guys, have a great weekend.